Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Please kindly put a message in the chat box. Is my voice is audible or not? Is my voice is audible? Okay, great. So once again, good afternoon to everyone, guys. So I hope a few of you guys are already aware about me, and a few of you guys are for the first time that you guys are seeing me. So let me introduce myself first. So then we'll go with the further things. So my name is Blessina. So I am one of the technical trainer in the TAP Academy. So I will be handling your JavaScript sessions from now on. So I hope this information is more than sufficient. So guys, I think everyone in the introduction itself that I mentioned that I'll be handling the JavaScript session for you guys. So I hope that you guys are already aware that these are the JavaScript classes. If anyone are by mistake thinking that some other class, and if you are here, please know that uh, this is a JavaScript sessions. Okay. So when it comes to the web technologies, guys, I know that you already have a certain sort of information about like what are the front end technologies and what are the different things that the layers that what we have here, all the things that means the basic information about the front end technologies, the basic information about the web technologies and the terminologies that you are aware. And please make sure that if you have not done the revisions, so please do the revisions. Go back once the sessions has been done. Please kindly do the revisions and have a track on the terminologies that what you have learned previously, especially in the HTML and CSS. Why? Because if you have come to the JavaScript, it means that HTML and CSS, it is already completed for you guys. So if we are moving one step ahead and we are going with the JavaScript, so basic foundation is very, very much needed and very, very much necessity for the sessions that what we will be discussing. Why? Because here we will not be going with the basics like this is how the structure will be there on this. These are the tags that we have to use it. So we will not be discussing all those things again from the scratch. Okay, so we will be discussing about the more focus will be present on the JavaScript. Focus will not be present on displaying the contents or applying the styling. It will not be there. So if you are lagging with any of the concepts in the HTML and CSS, please kindly make sure do the revisions and cope up with the classes that will be getting conducted in the JavaScript, because HTML and CSS, those are like a kind of a root things for the JavaScript. If you have a basic idea and if you have that basic strong foundation only, you can understand the things that what we are doing here. Else, you will face a lot of difficulties in the session. Okay. So with that note, let us start with the technical steps. Okay. Previously you guys have already know like what is an HTML, what is the main functionality of an HTML, what is a CSS, what is the main functionality of the CSS. You guys already aware. So let me quickly tell you guys that what you would have been learned in an HTML and CSS. So if we talk about the main functionality of this technologies, and again, you guys know that any project that which you are designing, implementing it, overall 3 layers will be there as a basic. So first one will be your front end part, next one will be your backend, and then you will be having your database. So this introduction completely on the first class of your HTML only, you would have been heard, you would have been seen all kind of an animations, connections between them, everything you would have been seen there. Okay, so without a front end, so the projects that whatever you will be implementing will be an incomplete thing. So it will not be a complete. So in that, two things you have already learned. One is about an HTML, one is about the CSS. So HTML, it's a markup language. You guys are already know about it. CSS is nothing but it's about the styling language. So this also you are aware. So most importantly that HTML you have learned just to display the contents in your browser. Again, when we talk about the word called as a content, so content means it can be anything. Like it can be a text, it can be a word, it can be an image, it can be an audio, video. So content means being as a web developers, for us, content means everything. Everything will come into the picture. And for the content, whatever it is there, that content will be a simple. It will be very plain and it will be present in the black and white. So to make that content very attractive, CSS is what that we will be applying. So in the CSS also multiple properties you would have been learned, and how to align the contents, and a lot of properties that to apply and to make your content more attractive you would have been learned. So HTML first, it is for displaying the contents. Second thing, CSS is to apply the styling for your content. Okay, so these are the two things that which you have learned. Now the third thing is coming into the picture, which is nothing but the JavaScript. Okay, so now you will be having this a lot of questions about like what is this kind of the JavaScript, and what is the purpose of this particular JavaScript. So a lot of questions at the back of your mind that you might be having. So understand that the first question that which you have to know and which you should be awareing is what is a JavaScript. Because you know what is HTML, you know what is the functionality of that, you know the CSS, you know what is the functionality of that. At the same time that you should also know what is the JavaScript. Okay, see, understand, JavaScript basically it is also a language, and this language comes under the front end or comes under the web technologies. This till here you are already aware. So like how we will be talking about like if for example, if you take as an HTML, you can take it is an hypertext language. If we are taking a CSS, you can tell it is a cascading style sheet language it is. If you are taking an SQL, you can tell it's a structured querying language. If you take as a Java, you can tell it's a programming language. Similarly, this JavaScript also belongs to a kind of a type of the language. So what it is exactly is, sometimes JavaScript it is called as a scripting language, and sometimes JavaScript it is also called as a programming language as well. So this are two terminologies, whatever it is there frequently that they will be using in the industry. One is JavaScript, it is called as a scripting language. One is JavaScript is called as a programming language as well. So either of the terminologies, whichever they are telling, so it is completely fine, but you should mention both of the things. You have to tell that JavaScript is a scripting language also, and you have to tell that JavaScript is also called as a programming. Why it is called as a programming? See, uh, why did we use HTML? It is just a content which we are displaying. There, computations will never be happening. Computations means logical operations. This example also you would have been seen in your HTML, that suppose if you tell a 3 plus 3, in an HTML you will be getting the result as 3 plus 3 only. Why? Because computation will not be happening there. Okay, so that is why it is called as a markup language. But in the JavaScript, if you're giving 3 plus 3, you can get the result as a 6. Why? Because here computations, the logical operations can be performed in the JavaScript. That is why JavaScript is also called as what? It is a programming language. And why it is called as a scripting language? See, in a movies and all you would have been seen, right? The actors will be there, actresses will be there. So whenever they are telling some dialogues, all that, The first what they will be doing is all the instructions. For us, it's an instructions. For them, it's a dialogues that which they would have been written. They technically they'd call that as a scripts. Why? Because in that script, they'll not tell first line first and fifth line second and eighth line third. They'll not tell like that. Step by step, whatever it is there in the script, that is what they will keep on reading it. In the similar way, this in the JavaScript also, the instructions, whatever it is there, it will be getting executed step by step. So it will be same like a scripts only. So that is why this language, it is also called as what? As a scripting language as well. It is completely like a script. So step by step instructions, step by step performing the operations. This is what will be happening here. So basically, JavaScript is a front-end technology, or a JavaScript is a web technology. And you already know what is mean by web and what are the other web technologies, all that. I hope no need for me to again iterate all those points that which you have already learned in an HTML. So please, if you cannot recall the points, please kindly make sure go through the contents once again, that if you have missed the revisions. Fine. So, and JavaScript is what? It is a scripting language, and JavaScript is what? It is a programming language as well. Okay, so anything they can call. So you have to tell people in the interview, they can ask you that JavaScript is which, like whether it is a scripting or whether it is an hypertext or a query language or a programming language, what language it is. So you need to tell it is also called as a scripting and it is also called as a programming, because computations will be happening here. In the first class only, you would have been learned that content means it is an HTML. Styling means it is a CSS. But in that both the technologies, computation or logical operations, you cannot perform. So if you want to perform a computations or the logical operations, definitely you should learn the JavaScript language. Without this, the content, whatever you're taking from the user, you cannot validate that content. Means you cannot perform any kind of computations on the data which you are taking it from the user in terms of a validations, all that, and any logical operations. If you wanted to do it also, you cannot do it only by using an HTML and CSS. So for that, the important languages, it is a JavaScript. So I hope you guys have got clarity about like what is this exactly the JavaScript is all about. Okay. So next question, why you have to learn JavaScript? You already got 2 points. One is to perform the computation and to perform the logical operations. This point you already got it. But there are a certain other things also that which you should be aware about the JavaScript. That is why JavaScript is most important when it comes to the web technology. See, you can, whenever you're doing any kind of a job research, all that, you just see that how much is important the JavaScript. See, having only and HTML and CSS, it's like you have your hands, legs, everything, but you don't have a brain without the JavaScript. So if you want the complete operation should be done, every functionality should happen. HTML also you should have, CSS also you should have, JavaScript also you should have. So JavaScript also is very important. But why it became very, very much important? Why people are asking for the JavaScript in the market? I don't know how many of you guys would have been seen this post. There was a last drive which was conducted on the front end. The package was, it is 5 to 7 LPA. So you can see the weightage that they are giving around the package on this particular technology. So please make sure when, from where the opportunity will be coming, you will be never be knowing it. So you have to be prepared with all the things that are going on. Then only you will be called as a full stack web developer. In the course name itself, you have as a web developer, full stack web developer. So please make sure, try to understand that why it is JavaScript is most important now in the industry. Okay, so let us go with our animations. So now in the front end that we will be implementing it. So click on the you can see here, this is a basic form. Okay, this is a basic form. This you guys already know how to design it, how to give a login, how to create that text box. And you can see inside that, you can see something called as an email, how to place that, and you can see password and all this. You can see a button as a login. So this page, you guys already know how to implement. So basically, what is this? This is a form. Okay, so here is where the people will be giving what? People will be giving an input. So people, I mean about an users. Okay, so users, from an users is what that we will be collecting. What we will be collecting the inputs, or we will be collecting the data from this particular form. Now, once we take up this data, we have done one task in an HTML. That is, whatever the data that we are taking. So we will be performing that validations here, that we have done it in a HTML. But if you see in an HTML, there user defined messages are not there. Whatever the inbuilt messages are there, like enter, the pattern is not matching, fill out the field, all this are an inbuilt. So inbuilt messages is what that was displaying when we performed that validation in an HTML. Correct? But most of the times that inbuilt messages will not be working. So we need to be very precise to the clients. We need to be very precise to the users that what exactly the issue is coming here. See, basically, whatever the data that we are taking, what we have to do is we have to check whether the data is correct or no. Without checking that, we cannot store that data in the database. So it's our responsibility that the data that whatever we are taking, we have to validate the data. So validation again comes under the computation only, logically checking, is this is same with this? Is this is equals to this? Is this is matching this particular pattern or not? Is this numbers are coming in this particular range or not? Basically, all these are logical only. HTML5, since we have used an HTML5, in HTML5 they have included few things like a pattern attribute, so we have used it. But still in there, we did not able to do the complete part there. Yes or no? Complete part we have not done. So that is why what people used to do is they don't use an HTML for that validation of the data, all that. So whatever the code that they will be writing here, so they will be sending this particular thing to the backend. Okay, so click on the next. So this is a front end part. So they'll be sending it to the backend. Okay. So basically here it is nothing but it's a server is what that which we will be having. See, backend in the sense three layers. Front end is there, back end is there, database is there. See, database direct connection we don't have between the front end and the database. So only the back end is what that is getting connected to your front end. So what they used to do is whenever they used to write up or take up all this data from the users, they used to send this particular data to the backend. Again, you guys know in the backend what and all we will be having. So in the backend, what and all we will be having, we will be languages like a Java will be there, Python will be there, C will be there, C++ will be there. So all these things will be present there. So there, all computations you can do it, right? Conditions you can check it. You have control constructs. You have a statements there. You have a variables there. You have an operators there. So by using that condition, they used to check. So to check this particular condition only, lot of languages also used to be there. Okay, so click on the next. Lot of languages in the sense, as I said, Java is there, Python is there, and C will be there, C plus will be there. All these are what? All these are the backend technologies. Okay, all these are nothing but the programming languages, and all this will be performing the computations. Okay, so before what they used to do is whenever they take up the data from the users to perform that validations, to perform that computations, all that, they used to invoke the server. Means they used to connect it to the backend. And in the backend, they used to use the languages like Java, Python or a C, C++. Like this, they used to use up the language and they used to write down that logical things to check whether this is equals to this or not, or whether the length is equals to this length or not, whether the size of that particular characters is this or not, the pattern that what we have given is matching with this or not. All these are computations. So they used to do it by using the backend technologies, that is your programming language. Why? Because it's very clear that this languages can do the computation part. This languages can do the logical operations. So they used to invoke. Now, can we guarantee that whatever the inputs that the users are giving for us, that all that inputs will definitely will be the correct? No. So what happens sometimes, whatever the pattern they have given might not be the same the pattern that what we are expecting from our development side. So what they used to do, they again used to send that particular data back to the front end. Again, once it is done, again they used to invoke the server, again they used to send the data, again in the backend that a logical computation will happen, again if any mistakes, again they used to send it to the front end. So in this case, what they used to do is they used to invoke the server multiple times. See, take any one form or take any one online applications, anything. It is not that you are the only one that you are using it. Multiple people will be using that particular thing. So when they are using those multiple things, multiple people, most of the people, there is a chance that they can do a mistake. And there is a chance that mistake can happen parallelly. So multiple times that they have to keep on invoking the servers, which is not the right approach. Why? Because whenever you are invoking the server multiple times, if you put lot of weight each to that, or if you give load a lot of work to the servers, they will stop working. And the response that what you will be getting is very delayed. You would have been seen in the internet, or you would have been seen in the in some of the college websites and all. If anyone are there from the video batch, VTU, they will be knowing these things, that in the websites and all, when they used to leave the result, everyone will be sitting, okay, at this time the results will be out. Everyone will sit on the system, everyone will try to invoke the result. And most of the times you will not get the result because many people are trying to invoke it. So you are putting a lot of load on that, and you are putting lot of task on that. So response, whatever it is, that it will be delayed. And sometimes you might be getting as a server not found, or sometimes you will be getting as connection fail. A lot of things you can get it like that. That is because multiple people are trying to invoke that server at a time. You see government websites and all. Most of the times it will not be worked. Why? Because government websites, it's not that commonly that you or me are will be using. Multiple people throughout the world, they will be using it. So in that case, if you see, most of the times it's very difficult there to get the response that what we wanted to get immediately. But here, do you think that the user will sit, give all the details and wait for 1 day, 2 day to tell that whether your data is right or wrong? Or to check that whether the data has been submitted successfully or not? No. So this problems is what was happening in that time, that when the people were using the programming languages, the complete programming language, and again, it's a backend. Okay, when they used to invoke the server and perform the logical operation, a lot of traffic will be there. Again, traffic means it's not Silbo traffic or the tin factory traffic or Bangalore traffic. No, it's a data traffic. So that traffic, whatever it is there, it will be more. Okay, so in that case, the response that what you will be getting back from the websites or from the server side will be very delayed. So when the things has been started like this, people were actually frustrated because this will not be working every time. So that is when they started thinking that what is an addition thing that we can do it so that we can resolve this particular problem, so that we stop invoking the server multiple times. That is when they brought up one language where which is nothing but the logical operations can be performed and all the conditions can be checked the same like how your Java does, Python does, C does, C++ or any. So what these languages were doing, even this language also, that they thought that, okay, we need something that where all the computations like this backend languages are doing, even that language also should be done. But problem here is not a languages. Problem here was invoking the server multiple times. So that should be reduced so that the response will be quick. That is when they brought up a language which is nothing but the JavaScript, which performs the computation part. But this JavaScript is not a backend language, which is nothing but the front-end language only, that which all these logical things will be happening in the front only. Okay, so you can see the JavaScript is or JavaScript will perform all the computation parts. Like how your Java does, or Python does, C or C++ does, it will do it. But this JavaScript is not on the server side. JavaScript is not on the back end. So this logical operations now, whatever it is there, this will be happening in the front end only now, so that you will not be invoking the server multiple times. So here, what exactly will happen is, whatever the data that you are taking from the user, whatever the data that you are taking from the customer now, will not go to the backend, will go to the JavaScript. After going to the JavaScript, their computations will be happening, and JavaScript will tell you that whether your data is right or wrong by giving that user defined messages, or what pattern that you have not given properly, what data that you have not given properly, which column that you have missed it, that every computation part will be done by the JavaScript. And JavaScript will send back again to you in the front end only. Once everything data it is completed, once every data is proper, then only the server will be invoked in the backend. And here after connecting, and finally that it will be stored in the database. So tell me now, how many times we will be invoking the server? Only once or multiple times? You can see it very clearly here. It is only once, that too whenever the data is proper. So if you're using a JavaScript, what you can do it in the backend. Without invoking that server, you can complete off that task in the front end itself by using this JavaScript. That is why people started using the JavaScript to perform that logical operations, to perform the computation operations, and to complete that task in the front end itself without invoking the server multiple times. Why? Because invoking the server multiple times is not a good approach. Applications will not work. Today also you have a time, once the class is done, you can go and check any government applications websites which is there, which will never work in one shot. Why? Because it's a server. So they're using the multiple users will keep on using that. So they cannot get the response immediately that what we are expecting. But that should not happen in case of the applications which you are designing and implementing. So that is why in the industry now, designing, okay, giving your content and applying the styling till here, it is fine. This is absolutely fine. But whatever the data that we are taking from the user, performing that computations, validating that also, it is very much important, because that is the data that which will be stored in the backend. You see Amazon application, you see the Flipkarts, you see the Instagrams, you see the YouTube, all that, everything it's a front end. There what you will be doing is what that will be sent at the backend. So multiple things you can see that whenever you go for your Instagram, you give the password, all those things. If you're giving the wrong password, it will tell you immediately. It will not tell you after 1 day or 2 days. No, it will tell you immediately. Why you are getting that immediately is because they've used a JavaScript in there to perform that validation, not the backend languages. That is why you take any application, whichever the real-time application nowadays that you have, the main thing for all that where it is performing logically is due to the JavaScript. So JavaScript is a language, and understand this one is a basic foundation for you guys if you want to learn any other frameworks which are designed and implemented on the JavaScript. For example, Angular and React, all these frameworks and libraries, if you want to understand and learn, then you should have a knowledge on the JavaScript. If you don't have the knowledge on the JavaScript, you can never understand and you can never try to analyze the structure of those frameworks and libraries. So this is very, very much important. If you tell that you know the front-end technologies, it means the JavaScript also should be included there. To avoid all this kind of a problems, whatever it is, they're invoking the server, computation, to resolve that only, they bought this language, which makes the task more easy, and most of the operations will be completed in the front end only without invoking the server multiple times. So this is why that you have to learn the JavaScript. Again, many of you guys will be having a question is why is the JavaScript when we can do it in Java and Python? I hope you got an answer that even though we have a programming languages in the back end, why people prefer to go with the JavaScript when it comes to the computation part in the front end. So this is the main reason that the JavaScript is the most important thing for every fresher and for everyone who are learning the web development. So I hope you got an answers for two questions, that what is a JavaScript and why JavaScript. This is why you have to learn the JavaScript. Even though you know the other things, you have to learn the syntax of this, then only you'll be completely called as you know the front-end technologies. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Fine. So let us see some of the basic history about the JavaScript, all that. See, again, when it comes to the history part, that we will not be discussing like a completely in-depth, a lot of stories, all that. I have kept it very simple. I've kept it very brief, the important points that which you guys should know it. If you know this much of the things, it is more than sufficient in the JavaScript. Okay. So let us see it. Okay. So here you can see that actually the JavaScript was designed by the Brendan H. Okay. So in the year 1995. So he designed it and he developed this particular JavaScript. Okay. And he also was working in the Netscape Navigator. Okay. So you might be wondering that what is this a Netscape Navigator, all that. See, Netscape is nothing but this was one of the browser in the olden days. Okay, like how now we have a Chrome browser, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, all that. So similarly, even a Netscape was one of the popular browser in those days. Now nobody use. Now we don't use a Internet Explorer much. We don't use a Mozilla Firefox much. Okay, even though it is there, we don't use much. We always prefer nowadays Chrome also they don't, many of people they don't use, they go with the Microsoft Edge. Okay, so it depends. The most popular now people are using, one is Chrome and one is Microsoft Edge. But understand, Netscape is nothing but Netscape. It was one of the famous browser in those days. Actually, the Brendan Eich was the developer at that Netscape Navigator company in that browser. Okay, and there he was working as a developer, and he's a person who designed and implemented this JavaScript. Okay, and if you see that JavaScript was initially actually called as a live script. Okay, so later only they have changed that to the JavaScript. See, the name was given as what, as a live script. Okay, but it was changed to the JavaScript. Most of the people will be having a confusion. That is, ma'am, Java and JavaScript is both are same. See, in the previous example only, you should have been understood that JavaScript is a front-end technology. but Java is a back-end technology. And JavaScript is a scripting and programming language. But Java is only a programming language. It's not a scripting language. Okay. So Java and JavaScript both are different. Okay. But operations, whatever it is there, it can perform. Like how C, C++, Java does. Languages are different. But if we talk about a function, if we talk about a method, all those things are same only, right? Functionality wise, it is same. But what is the only difference is syntax is what it is different. That's all. Okay. So, but why still they have named this particular JavaScript is just to make that as a companion. To make it okay with the Java that we have a JavaScript also. But actually, Java and JavaScript is not related with each other. Conceptual wise, operation wise, it is same, but both are two different set of the languages. So please remove this confusion from your mind. Java and JavaScript both are different. Okay. And the most important here which you have to understand is a version that which we are using it. Okay. We will be using an ES6 which came in the 2015, and it is a second revision. It is not the first one. We will be using the second revision, means updated. Few things are updated. And what is this ES6 means? It is nothing but it is an ECMAScript 6. Why? Because JavaScript, whatever it is there, first it was handled by the Netscape only. But later on, for the development, for the maintenance purpose, all that. Why? Because any language, any software, maintenance is very much important. If maintenance is not there, it will become outdated. So for that maintaining purpose, they have handed over the JavaScript to the ECMAScript. Okay. So if from there only they have took this particular thing called as an ECMAScript 6. Basically, it is an association. It is a manufacturer association. It's an European Computer Manufacturer Association, ECMAScript. Okay. So all maintenance, everything is under that ECMAScript right now. The JavaScript, whatever it is there, is under the ECMAScript right now. So that is why initially they used to give us version 1, version 2, all that. But later on, they started mentioning their company name as an ECMAScript 6, like that. So that is how the name has come as an ECMAScript 6. So this is the basic things which you have to know. Who designed and invented the JavaScript, when they have invented, and initially what JavaScript called as, and whether Java and JavaScript both are same or both are different, and which version you are using, and that version has come when. And this is a stable, a standard version it is. Okay, so in this things, if you're learning many, if any upgradations, if anything, it is there also, easily you can implement. So this is a basic history about your JavaScript. Okay, so this is how that we will be designing, and this is how the things that we will be having in the JavaScript. So I hope the basic ideology about the JavaScript is clear to everyone. First thing, what is a JavaScript? Second thing, why JavaScript you have to learn, and what is an importance of that particular JavaScript, all that. And third thing is the basic history about the JavaScript. Okay, so now let us move with respect to the syntax that whatever we have. Okay, so we need to check with related to the syntax that where we can be including all those things. Okay, so see, in the CSS also, you would have been seeing the syntax where and all you can include that particular, let it be the style attribute, let it be the style tag, the different ways of giving the styling, all that like an internal, external, inline. So all this you would have been learned. Means where exactly you need to include that scripting part, all that. Okay. And again, understand, even here also, content we will be having. Why? Because without a content, we cannot perform computation. And at the same time, we cannot only display the content, definitely styling also will be there to make our content attractive. So your content also will be there, styling also will be there. So content, whatever it is there, for that is what the computation that we will be doing. The computation, logical operations we will be performing. So without a content, JavaScript is also no use. Why? Because validation on what you will do if content only is not there. On what you can do on a content only, right? So that also should be there. But I'm not talking about the syntax of a content. I'm not talking about the syntax of the CSS. I'm talking about the syntax of the JavaScript. Okay, so I hope you guys already know the body structure of or the layout of your HTML and the syntax that where and all that you can use the CSS part, all that. So let us see with respect to the syntax related to the JavaScript. Okay, so here you need to use one tag, guys, okay, which is nothing but the script tag which you have to use it. Like how in the CSS you have a style tag. Okay, so you can include that in the body, you can include that in the head, or you can go with an external. So all these things you have learned. Similarly, here also we have places that where we can use. And understand, even this is script also, it is a paired tag only. Okay, so once you have started it, you have to end that particular script as well. Okay, but let us see that where and all. See, script is there, script ending will be there inside that content, whatever it is there, a logical operations or anything that we can do it. And let me tell you guys one more thing in the JavaScript. What is that one more thing that you have to know in the JavaScript is, in an HTML, only content, not CSS, not computation, right? In the CSS, it is only the styling, not the content, not the computation. But when it comes to the JavaScript, you can actually give the content, you can provide the styling through the JavaScript, you can manipulate them, you can modify them, and you can perform the computations as well. So these are the main advantages of your JavaScript. So inside this script tag, whatever it is there, content you can give it. You can give the styling here. You can perform the computation. So all this you can do it even in the JavaScript as well. So JavaScript allows you to do all those things. But as a standard, being as a developer, content means you have to go with an HTML. CSS means styling means you have to go with the CSS. Computations means you have to go with the JavaScript. But still, if any message that you wanted to pass, if any message that if you wanted to display it after doing a computations, you have to go with the JavaScript only. So through the JavaScript, we can give the contents, we can give the styling, means that for that content modifications, we can do it. At the same time, computations also we can perform. So remember, all these are the advantages of your JavaScript. Okay, so let us see that in which places and all that we can use them. Okay, so here the first one you can see, so which is nothing but the head. So in the head we can use it. Okay, so in the head that you can use that script tag, all that, and you can use it. Okay, so next one will be the body. Okay, so in the body also you can use it. Okay, same like the CSS, how you have used that style tag in the head or in the body, wherever you want you can use it. But standard one is an head one, that which you will be using. Same thing applies here also. Script tag, if you want to use in the head section, you can use it. In the body section, you can use it. So it depends on the requirement that you have to decide that in which place that you have to use this particular thing. Okay, but we can include in the head also, we can include in the body also. And third one will be your external file. Okay, so external file, same like in the CSS, how separate content file will be there, separate CSS file will be there, how you will be attached to both of them, like that. Even here also, external means content you can keep it separate, and JavaScript you can keep it separate, and you can link that particular thing. So this is how that you can do up with the things. Okay, so you can get in whichever places that you wanted to get it, you can get up with this particular things. Okay, so remember, this is syntax. We have only one tag here which we have to use if you want to give a JavaScript. So that is a script tag, and we can either go with the head, we can either go with the body, and we can go with an external. External means separate JavaScript file will be there which we will be linking with our HTML file. It's the same meaning what you have seen in the CSS. External CSS, same way external file in the JavaScript. Okay, I hope I am clear. Fine. So let me take one small example here. Okay. So with respect to that, this structure you guys already aware about that, but still I just wanted to tell you guys once again why, because here the contents also we will be displaying all these things that we will be displaying. Okay. So we will be showing up with the content. So can you just recall in your mind that I in the first HTML class, you would have been seen one layout, right? For a page, like in the browser, means the different parts you would have been seen. So head will be there, and inside that a title will be there, and the body will be there. So these are the basic terminologies that which we will be used in the HTML, correct? But when it comes to the JavaScript part, that few of the additional things also that which you have to know it. Why? Because few terminologies are different here. Okay, so what are those few different terminologies? Let us see here. Okay, so display that particular thing. Okay, so here, 1 second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, I hope it is visible properly now to everyone. I hope now it is visible properly to everyone. Okay, great. Okay, see, this is a basic thing. Okay, as I said, the layout, whatever it is there, you are already aware about that. Okay, so here, you can see on the top we have something called as a JS, all that, right? So where it is present inside an head only, right? So that entire section, what we call it as an head. And inside that, the JS, whatever it is there, that what we will be calling that as a title. Okay, so it's the same terminologies, head, title. This is everything related to the content only it is. So it is everything, it is the same only. Okay, inside thing, whatever you have written, that one in an HTML, we will be calling that as a body. Okay, we will be calling that as what? As a body. But when it comes to the JavaScript, you need to start using some other terminology, which is nothing but as a document. Okay, so what you have to use here, we need to use here called as what? As a document. Please click on the next. So we need to give here as what? As a document. Okay, so here these are the different layouts and terminologies which you have to understand. Okay, head section is there, in that a title, same terminology only, but inside that whatever you would have been given, which we will be telling as a body, that one in the JavaScript, what we will be telling as a document. So remember, if it's an HTML, you need to represent that as a body. If it is a JavaScript, you need to represent that as a document. Okay. Now, what is the task that we will be doing is, you can see there are two statements here. One is, hi, welcome to the JavaScript. Second one, what I have here is JavaScript first example. This is what the two statements I have there. Okay. Now, first statement, whatever it is there, I wanted that statement to be displayed as a content in the HTML only. As an HTML content only, I want to display. So analyze and tell me that, hi, welcome to an HTML, where we have to give through as an HTML content only if we wanted to print that. So where we will be giving? Inside a body. So we will be going to an inside a body, any tag we will be using, and inside that tag, that content, whatever it is that we will be giving, that content will be displayed. That is HTML. Next line, whatever it is there, JavaScript first example, this one, I don't want this to be displayed through the HTML. I want this to be displayed by the JavaScript. I already mentioned to you guys that in the JavaScript, I can give a content, I can give a styling, and I can perform the computation part as well. So here, that basic thing that I wanted to show you guys, that through the JavaScript also, that how you can display the contents. Okay, so now the task is, first one, I wanted through an HTML, in an HTML only. Second thing is, second line, whatever it is that through the JavaScript we wanted to give it. So this is what that we will be implementing here. Okay. So now this practically we will be start implementing, and the tool that what we will be using here, guys, it will be the Visual Studio only. I hope every one of you guys already have the Visual Studio in your system. Okay, we will not be using any other tool. It's the same thing only. So what you have used for an HTML, what you have used for the CSS, same thing only we will be using in the JavaScript. Okay. So practical implementation, whatever it is there, first let us see. Then it will be easy that to directly go and execute that program. You guys already aware about how to use the Visual Studio, how to run the how to run the statements there. All that you are already aware. Okay. So here head is there, title is there. Okay, in that first HTML content is there. So tell me, if this much I wanted to do it, with what I will be starting? It's basically it's a content only, right? And next line I said you guys that I wanted to display that through the JavaScript. So through the JavaScript, in the sense which tag I have to use, I've shown in the syntax. It is a script tag. And script wherein all we can give it in the head, we can give it in the body. So head and body where will be there? In an HTML file only will be there. So here, starting through the HTML only, you have to get it. No matter whether you are giving a content, whether you are giving a CSS, or whether you are performing a computation, always that you have to start with your HTML content. If that body, if that structure, if it is not there, you cannot apply the styling or you cannot perform the computation. So here we will be starting with that in HTML. I hope everyone are aware about how the flow will be happening, all that. Okay, so display the first line here will be as an HTML as usual. It will be a paid tag. After that, what we will be doing, we will be going to the head as usual. So we will inside that head, what we have to give one title we want. So title tag we will be using as a JS we will be giving. And inside that first line, I want to display in the HTML only. So I'll be going where inside the body only we have to give that. So here body we will be telling, and that content we have to display it, right? So that content means any tag, whichever you wanted to take it, you can take that particular tag and you can display it. Okay, so take whichever the tag it is that it is up to you. So here we are taking an H1 tag, and you can see that it is a paid tag. We are closing it here, and here we are telling it as what? Hi, welcome to JavaScript. So this one will be printed what? This one will be printed in your browser. Next statement, whatever we have, that statement through the JavaScript is what we have to print it. JavaScript is what we have to print it. So through the JavaScript, if we wanted to print it, which tag we need to use? We need to go with the script tag. And script tag, either we can include in the head section, or either we can include in the body section. So here what I will be doing, since through the JavaScript I wanted to give this second statement, I'll be going with the script tag, and that script tag I will be giving it inside my body only. So after that H1, I'll be opening and closing my script tag. And inside this I want to give a content. But before that, tell me, whatever that content I am displaying, that content, should I treat that as a body or should I treat that as a document in the JavaScript? How we have to treat, it is very clearly shown there only. We have to treat that as a document. So inside that document, we have to write that particular statement, or we have to display that particular statement. So you need to properly redirect to that particular thing. So here you need to tell us document. So you have to tell us what? Document dot write. As I said, in that document only what we will be doing? We will be writing up. So you can see very clearly document keyword we are using, and we are using a write method here. So we have a method which we can use in the JavaScript where that content will be displayed in the document. So we are writing. Go to the document, you can see the dot operator means penetrating. Entering inside that document, and we are writing. What we want to write? JavaScript first example is what that we have to write. So this is how that whatever it is that we will be giving up with the things. So now this will be your entire code. So we have to save this file. Tell me in which extension you will be saving this file. Think and tell me that in which extension you will be saving this file. Check in the chat box. So which extension you will be giving? HTML. Very good. If you have said about a JavaScript, understand HTML is there, head is there, body is there. So you have to save this file where? In an HTML only, not in any other extension. So we will be giving that particular file. So please show that animation. So we will be saving that particular thing as an HTML only, and we will be saving up with the things. So this is what the code that we will be writing. So that script, whatever it is there, you can include that in the body or you can include that in the head. Now, why did I include that in the body? Why I did not include that in the head? Think why I did not include that in the head, why I included that in the body. Why is this? Because understand it's a scripting, means a step by step will be executed, and if you see the result, first I want the HTML content, then only the JavaScript content. That is why first HTML content we are giving, below that we are giving the JavaScript content. For example, script if you include in the head section only, first that will get executed and then only the HTML content. But will it match to the result that what we wanted? No. So that is why you have to think, you have to analyze that where you have to include this script tag. Based on that only, you have to give that in your statements, in your instructions, and you have to execute it. I hope I am clear with this. So this is what that we will be implementing practically as well. As I said, we will be using the same tool only which we have used for an HTML and CSS, which is nothing but the Visual Studio only. So there, what process you have done in the HTML, what process you have done in the CSS, same thing only we will be following. One empty folder we will be creating only for the JavaScript, okay? And that JavaScript folder we will be opening in the Visual Studio, and there all the programs, whatever it is that we will be writing. Why I'm telling here as a program? Why? Because JavaScript is also called as what? As a programming language also. So I can use a terminology here called as a program instead of telling as an instructions, all that. Okay. So let us go to the Visual Studio now, and there you guys already are aware how to open the folder in the Visual Studio. You can see here everything you are aware. It's not like first time you are seeing this Visual Studio. No, here you know how to create a file. Here you know how to run a file. Everything you are aware about it. Right. So here we will be opening that folder that which we have created in the desktop. Okay. Same way that even you also that you can create it. Go to that lines there, not above top, this side. Yeah. Click on that. Open file, file. First one. And in that open folder below one. Next one. It's not a file, it's a folder. Folder. Okay, so here that pop-up will not be shown to you guys because of the security reasons, all that. You can open the folder it there. You can select the folder and you can open it. You can see that we are getting here one folder as a JavaScript. You can see here. Okay, you can cancel that above one. Okay. So you can see the JavaScript one folder that we have opened here, and inside this, it's an empty folder. So inside this, whatever the files or which you wanted to create, all that you can create it. So first file that we will be creating, so click on that here, give the name. So you can just give as a first extension should be what? .html only. So click on enter. So here you can see that file has been created. Okay, so this is a basic process which you have already learned in the HTML also, in the CSS also, everywhere you have learned it. And don't think some magic has happened here. We have just closed that Explorer. That's all. You know how to open that Explorer. You know how to close that particular Explorer. Okay. So more space that we will be getting here. That is why we have closed that Explorer. So your structure we need. So tell me what is a basic thing that what is required. HTML should be there. Tag should be there. Body should be there. Head should be there. All this should be there. So now you have come in a position that this structure you are already aware. So you should be more efficient. So all that I can get it by the shortcut only, right? Should we sit and write HTML, head, title, body, all that? No. By using a shortcut, we can get that particular structure, right? So let us get that particular structure. So exclamatory, and click on the tab. Okay, you can see structure we got here. You know that why that meta tag is used, that also you are aware. Okay, so why is that a doc type HTML we are giving it, why we are giving that a meta tag? So let me tell, if you guys are not aware, meta tag is basically used that so that the you would have been seen that if you're implementing and designing a project in one computer, in one system, the size, everything will be varied in another computer. I'm not talking about the devices, guys. I'm not talking about the phone, a tab, or a computer. No, I'm talking about a computer only. So in that case, without any problems or issues, properly, if that device with everything, if it has to take, then you have to include that particular meta tag, so that other changes you no need of doing it. So by default, it will be coming in the structure only. So let us have it there only. Let us change our title. So what was our title for our program? It is a JS which we have given, right? So let us give that particular title here as a JS. Okay, so title is done. So inside a body, what we have to use? We have to give as an H1, correct? We have to use an H1 tag, and there we will be telling as what has hi, welcome to the hi, welcome to JavaScript. Okay, so statement, whatever it is there, you can give that particular statement. Okay, so once this is done, after this only through the JavaScript, we have to give the content. So for that, what we will be giving, we have to use a script tag, right? So use that particular script tag here. Okay, and inside, what you have to tell, go to the document. So means what you have to tell here, document you have to tell. And what we need to do, penetrate inside, means dot operator we have to use. And what exactly we wanted to do, we have to write something there. So we have to use what method there, write method we have to use it. So click on that write method, and method it is. So open and close parenthesis will be there. And inside that, in the double quotes, we have to give as a content. So because it's a sequence of characters, it will be considered like a string, right? So we have to give that inside a double quote. So here give the content, JavaScript, first example. Okay, so this is how the content, whatever it is, the same thing what we have done in the animation, same thing only we have given here also. Okay, so now you know that how to save this, you know how to run this particular file. It's the same process only, nothing is changed. So you have to just do a right click here. Once you have done the right click here, you will be getting an option called as an open with the live server. So click on that open with the live server. Once you click on that particular open with the live server, so it will be redirected. Okay, so reduce the size little bit more. Okay, now here you can see, I welcome to JavaScript. JavaScript first example. You can see second statement also I am getting. But second statement, did I give through the HTML? No, I gave it through the JavaScript. So you need to understand in the JavaScript, this is a basic, not only the statements, we will also be giving that computation part as well here. Modifications also we will be doing it. So everything you will be learning it step by step. But you can see that we can provide what? We can provide a content through the JavaScript as well. So this is the best example for that. So this is how whatever the computations are there hereafter, we can include that in the script tag and we can use it. Okay, so go back to the Visual Studio. Here, I said you guys that we can give the script tag in the head, we can give that in the body, all that. So body, you have seen it. Same statement only, I can cut, I will be cut, copy that statements, remove those statements from the body, cut, go to the after title, paste there. Head anywhere you can give. So here also I am giving it. So here you have to just understand script wherever you want. You can use it even in the head also, in the body also, everywhere. But here result will be changed. What will be the result now? First, which one will be there? JavaScript first example will be there. Then only hi welcome to the JavaScript will be there. So it depends on where you are including your script tag. Okay. So show the result now. So now you can see first what I am getting here. So reduce the text little bit. A little bit more. Okay. So here you can see that JavaScript first example is first you are getting is next you are getting is I welcome to a JavaScript. Why? Because in the head all first you have given a script, then you have given. So these are a script means a step-by-step execution is what will be happening. So this is how that in the body also you can give it and in the head also you can give it. So this is same. So let us see with an external. So external also you are aware. So here external means not inside the HTML file. We will be creating one separate file and that we will be linking. Only one thing that which you have to know is how we can link our, you know how to link a CSS and HTML. Here you have to know how to link your JavaScript file and in your HTML file. So go back to the Visual Studio. Okay, so whatever the statements we have under 7, 8 and 9, uh, no need everything, cut only 8th line. 8th line, cut it. See, I'm not given here. So one separate file we will be creating. Okay, so there take one separate file. So here give the file name as a first. So now inside this, the JavaScript content I will be giving. So what should be an extension for this? Extension for this should be the .js. How we will be telling .java, .html, .css, .cpp. So like that, we have to give your extension as what? As .js only. So click on enter. So here, since it's a separate file, so is it required for me to tell the script tag again? Remember the external CSS. There, did you tell the style attribute specifically? Did you tell the style tag specifically there? No. Why? Because the file itself represents that it is a CSS file. So similarly, even here also, you no need of specifically telling that by including the tag. Here, by seeing the file name itself, that they will understand that, or the compilers internally, the interpreters internally will understand that this is a JavaScript file. So paste the statement which you have, which we have taken it in the HTML. So here you can see same thing only. Only one thing what I have removed is I did not specify the script tag specifically here. No need of that because this is a JavaScript file. But if this should be displayed, what we have to do? We have to connect our JavaScript and we have to connect our HTML. Otherwise, the content will not be displayed in your browser. Whenever you have a HTML, CSS, which file you will be executing as a main? HTML file only. Similarly, if you have an HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you have to connect all of them in your HTML only because it's a main file which you will be having. So go to the HTML file. So let us see that how we will be connecting it. Okay, here we will be connecting it by using a script tag only. Okay, but here we will be using one attribute called as an src attribute, and inside that file name, whatever it is there, that file name we will be telling. So remove that 8th line and give it in the 7th only. Okay, so inside that script there, tell it as an attribute as an src. Src means you already know it's a source. Which file we have to connect it? First.js file we have to connect it. So I have connected it. So this is how that we have to connect our JavaScript and our HTML. In a CSS, you will be using a tag called as a link tag. But here, JavaScript file and HTML, if you wanted to connect it, you have to use what? You have to use a script tag only. Okay, so save, already it is saved. So go back and show the result. So see now, it's the same result or a different one. But JavaScript first example, where did we give? Did we give it in HTML? No, we have given that in the JavaScript, but still you can see that it is getting printed. Why? Because we have linked our JavaScript and our HTML file. That is why these contents are getting displayed. Like how CSS will be applied to the contents whenever we are linking both the files. Similarly, when we are linking this JavaScript and HTML file, the content will be displayed in the browser like this. So this is how the JavaScript you have to work. And here we are just to display the content. But from now on, a lot of statements we will be having, a lot of computation operations we will be doing, a different approaches, different methods, functions, so all that we will be seeing. But the basics of what is a syntax, where we can include it if I want to display one content, so where I have to give it, which tag we have to use it, how we can give that external file, I hope it is clear to everyone. So this much of the basics that you are aware. Then computation part, just you need to understand the syntax of all the things that whatever you have. We will be following the same approaches. Either we will be using a script tag in the head or in the body, or we will be going with an external. So here also they might ask you which is an efficient approach. So here also it's an external way only, it's better. Computation is separate, CSS is separate, styling is separate, content is separate, so that the content will be aligned properly and more readability will be there. So most used approach is nothing but it is an external file only with related to the JavaScript also. So I hope it is clear to everyone till here. Okay. So we have discussed about what is a JavaScript. We have discussed about why JavaScript. We have discussed about the syntax. We have discussed about the basic structure and practical implementation also. Like where and all we will be including the script tag, the first programming in the JavaScript also that we have executed. So this is how the process that we will be following. So today's your task will be there, whatever the basic statement that we have printed it, this one you have to implement in your system as well. You have everything with you. There is nothing that which you have to go back, install and get it, nothing. You already have everything. Just the thing is go and implement the code, whatever it is there, run and check and be aware about the syntax. So please, if anyone has a lack in the revision of an HTML and CSS, please kindly go back and do the revisions properly. Why? Because in between, I will be taking an examples like this. You have seen in the CSS, right? You have seen in the HTML, right? Why? Because again, everything we cannot bring here, and again, everything from the beginning we cannot discuss. So I'll be bringing in that time, you should not be what ma'am is telling, what is this topic, what is that, you will get stuck and you'll not understand everything further. So don't be in that position or a situation. So be ready before only. Just quick revisions, do it on the HTML and CSS. Fine. So I hope whatever we have discussed today, it is very clear to everyone. So today's task, whatever we have completed, executing the first one, please kindly execute that into your system, do the revisions and come for the next session. Okay. So I'll be stopping the session here for today. Okay. If you have any doubts or queries, please put up in the chat box. I will be replying it to you guys. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much to everyone. We'll meet up in the next class. Okay. Please keep on doing the revisions. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.